All right, let's just jump right in. If you're an inventor, a founder, you know the patent process can feel like you're trying to navigate a maze, completely blindfolded. But what if I told you there's a secret roadmap? A guide that almost everyone misses. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a strategy that can seriously be the difference between getting another rejection and building a real defensible asset for your business.
So let me ask you something. What do you think is the single biggest mistake that inventors make when they file for a patent? And it's not what you think. It has nothing to do with how good the invention is. It's actually something way more fundamental about how they approach the whole thing.
And here it is. They try to navigate a totally new, complex city without a map. It's the perfect way to think about it, right? They know where they want to go, they want that patent approval, but they have no clue about the one-way streets, the roadblocks, or, the shortcuts that everybody else knows. They're just guessing. And that right there, that guessing game, that's what we can call the inventor's dilemma. It's this super common but really flawed way of thinking that puts so many amazing ideas at risk before they even get off the ground. So what does this actually look like? Well, picture an inventor, we'll call her Sarah. She's created this brilliant new kind of biodegradable coffee pod. So in her patent application, she just describes it in her own words. She talks all about the eco-friendly benefits, and then she just kind of crosses her fingers and hopes the patent examiner gets it, that they see it her way. It's a completely reactive strategy, and honestly, it's a huge gamble. But there is a much, much better way. It's all about finding and actually using that hidden roadmap we mentioned. And look, this isn't some secret handshake or inside knowledge. It's a resource that is totally public, but almost nobody uses it. So what is this map exactly? Well, here you go. It's the collection of prior appeals and decisions from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO. And listen, this is not just a pile of old, dusty legal paperwork. No way. This is the official record. It's a literal database of every single argument the Patent Office has already heard, debated, and then ultimately accepted or rejected. And this quote just nails it. These documents are living examples of how the system thinks. Think about that. They show you the USPTO's logic, its patterns, how it reasons through problems. It is literally like getting a copy of the final exam before you have to take it. So when you start digging into this roadmap, what do you find? You see exactly which arguments actually work with examiners. You see the kind of data that persuades them, the lines of reasoning that consistently win. You even learn the specific nitty-gritty claim language to use, and, just as important, all the dead-end arguments you should just avoid completely. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually use this roadmap? Well, let's get into the most practical part of this whole strategy. What you do when you get that dreaded rejection notice, what's officially called an office action. Because that's not the end. That's where the real strategy kicks in. With this roadmap, a rejection is no longer a failure. It's a clue. So let's go back to Sarah, our inventor. She gets an office action saying her coffee pod is obvious because of some other invention. Now, instead of giving up, she can take that feedback and turn it into the actual blueprint for her successful response. See, it's not a dead end. It's just a course correction. And here's how she do it step by step. First, she realizes the real objection isn't just about her pod, it's about the specific legal idea of obviousness. So step 2, she dives into the database. She looks for other ecotech patents that got the same rejection and won. And she finds them. She sees they won by providing specific data on degradation rates. So step 3, she just mirrors their logic. She runs her own tests to get that data. And finally, step 4, she responds, not with her opinion about why her pod is great, but with hard evidence, framed in a way she knows the USPTO has already accepted in the past. At the end of the day, it all boils down to this. You're learning to speak the same dialect as the people making the decisions. When your language, your arguments, your whole logical flow lines up with phrasing they've already found convincing, you just make it so much easier for them to say yes. And that can save you so much time and money. All right, now let's zoom out for a second, because this is bigger than just getting one patent approved. This whole approach is about building a real strategic moat around your business, turning your intellectual property into a powerful, competitive weapon. This slide just lays it out so clearly. It's the shift in your entire mindset. You go from that reactive approach, guessing what works, always responding to problems, arguing your opinion, over to a strategic one, where you know what works, you prevent problems before they even start, and you build your entire case on logic that you know has already been proven to win. And the payoff for your business? Oh, it's huge. For a company like Sarah's,
This is an absolute game changer. She can walk into a room with investors holding IP she knows is solid. She gets a real competitive edge, she cuts down on time and legal bills. She can even use these insights to guide her next R&D moves, focusing innovation where she knows it will matter most.
When you start doing this, your patent stops being just some legal document sitting in a folder collecting dust. It becomes a dynamic, living business intelligence tool. You can use these legal insights to understand competitors, to spot gaps in the market, and to build a stronger company from the ground up. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Right now, is your patent strategy just creating a document, or is it actively building your competitive advantage? Because by using this hidden roadmap of past decisions, you can make damn sure it's always the latter.